never does. While you vote for leaders, there's a machinery that keeps running, making decisions that shape your life without your knowledge. From Washington to Islamabad, from Ankara to Cairo, there's a pattern emerging. A network of unelected officials, intelligence agencies, and bureaucrats who seem to wield more power than the people you actually vote for. Today, we're diving deep into the most controversial question in modern politics. Is the deep state a conspiracy theory, or the most dangerous reality of our time? What is the deep state? The term deep state originated in Turkey, where it described a network of military officers, intelligence operatives, and bureaucrats who operated outside democratic oversight. But here's what's chilling. This isn't just a Turkish phenomenon. In the United States, former congressional staffer Mike Lofgren defined it as a hybrid association of elements of government and parts of top-level finance and industry that is effectively able to govern without reference to the consent of the governed. The American deep state picture this. It's 2017. A newly elected president enters the White House with promises to drain the swamp. Within months, classified information is being leaked to undermine his policies. Intelligence agencies are investigating his campaign. Career bureaucrats are openly defying his orders. This isn't about politics. It's about power structures that transcend elections. The Pentagon has 2.8 million employees. The intelligence community employs over 100,000 people. These aren't temporary positions that change with administrations. They're permanent fixtures with their own agendas. Turkey's deep state legacy. Turkey's deep state, known as Derin Devlet, orchestrated coups, assassinations, and political manipulations for decades. The 1960 coup that toppled the democratic government? Deep state. The mysterious deaths of journalists and politicians in the 1990s? Deep state operations. When Recep Tayyip Erdogan came to power, he claimed to be fighting this shadow network. But critics argue he simply replaced one deep state with another, one loyal to him. Here's the terrifying reality. If deep states exist, democracy becomes an illusion. Your vote counts, but only within limits set by unelected power brokers. The question isn't whether shadow networks exist, it's whether they're protecting institutions or hijacking them. Pakistan's military deep state. In Pakistan, the military has been called the state within a state. Despite civilian governments, the military has orchestrated 4 coups and continues to influence foreign policy, especially regarding India and Afghanistan. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan discovered this the hard way. When he tried to assert civilian control over foreign policy, particularly regarding Russia and China, he found himself battling not just political opponents, but the deep state itself. His removal from power in 2022 followed a familiar pattern. Elected leaders who challenge the deep state don't last long. Egypt's intelligence network. Egypt's deep state survived the Arab Spring, Hosni Mubarak's fall, and the Muslim Brotherhood's brief rule. The military intelligence complex, centered around figures like Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, has maintained control regardless of who sits in the presidential palace. The 2013 coup that removed democratically elected President Mohamed Morsi wasn't just a military takeover, it was the deep state reasserting control when democracy threatened their interests. But here's where it gets complex. Are these shadow networks protecting national security, or are they the threat? Proponents argue that career professionals provide stability and expertise that politicians lack. When Trump wanted to withdraw from Syria, Pentagon officials reportedly ignored his orders to protect ongoing operations. Was this insubordination or patriotism? Critics counter that unelected officials making policy decisions destroys democratic accountability. When intelligence agencies can launch investigations into elected officials, when bureaucrats can leak classified information to influence public opinion, when military leaders can ignore presidential directives, who's really in charge? The most chilling evidence comes from Turkey's 2016 coup attempt. As tanks rolled through Ankara and jets flew over Istanbul, it became clear that elements within the military were trying to overthrow the elected government. The coup failed, but it revealed the deep state's willingness to use violence to maintain control. This wasn't ancient history. This was just 7 years ago, in a NATO country, in the 21st century. If it can happen in Turkey, what does that say about the stability of democratic institutions everywhere? From Washington's permanent bureaucracy to Islamabad's military establishment, from Ankara's security apparatus to Cairo's intelligence networks, the pattern is consistent. Power structures that operate beyond democratic oversight, that survive regardless of election outcomes, that can make or break elected leaders. The deep state isn't just a conspiracy theory. It's a documented reality in multiple countries. Whether it's a necessary evil that provides stability or a threat to democracy depends on your perspective. But one thing is clear: the relationship between elected officials and permanent power structures is more complex and dangerous than most people realize. The question isn't whether deep states exist, it's whether democracy can survive them. In Turkey, Pakistan, Egypt, and even the United States, the answer remains terrible.